Hi, this is Kanchanamurthy working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering Department. I'm presenting on integration testing, a critical concept in software quality assurance. So let's recall the unit testing. Um, on the right, you see the unit test. The orange pieces are method or unit in focus, and the blue pieces are the dependencies for the unit test. So in unit testing, we isolate and test the individual units. So, however, in a real system, as shown on the left, you have many interconnected components working together. So unit tests ensure each piece work on its own, but they don't guarantee that the pieces will fit together correctly. So this is where integration testing comes in. So in today's discussion, we will be focusing on three key areas. What is integration testing, an introduction to gray box testing, and the various type of integration testing approaches. So integration testing. So as the image visually suggests, integration testing is about ensuring the pieces fit together. Formally, integration testing verifies that individual software modules or components work together correctly as a whole system. So it focuses on the interfaces and the data flow between the modules to find faults that might occur when unit tests are combined. So think of it as the phase where we move from testing the individual bricks, that is unit testing, to testing how the walls connect and how the plumbing connects between the rooms. So the goal is to expose the problem that arise from the interaction between correctly functional units. So gray box testing. So testing hierarchy image is there. So which gray box testing often incorporates integration testing. So if the white box testing focuses on the internal structure and black box testing ignores the internal structure, gray box testing is a mix. So gray box testing has a knowledge of internal logic or structure, which is why suitable for testing how programs, subsystem, and the entire system integrate. So as a graphic illustrate, testing evolved from white box test at the unit level to gray box test as we integrate into the programs, subsystem, and finally the system, right? So type of integration testing. So look at the flowchart here. So there are different approaches for performing integration testing, often called integration test approaches. So we will be discussing four main types: big bang, bottom up, big bang, and bottom up, and top down, and mixed integration testing. So first we will see big bang integration. So the Big Bang integration testing approach involves joining all modules and components together all at once and then testing the whole integrated system. So as an explosive image implies, this is often confusion, right? So it's a failure occur. When a failure occur, it verify uh, the source of the problem. It's often difficult to isolate the source of the problem. So the issues often from things like global variable, weak encapsulation, and poorly documented interface or different error handling assumption. So it's a fast to implement, but generally the least effective and most difficult to debug. Then the next two types are incremental, meaning we integrate and test modules step by step. So top-down integration testing starts with the top-level module, like module one in a diagram, and moves downwards through the control hierarchy. So lower-level modules are simulated using temporary programs called stubs. So it allows testing of major control functions early on. Conversely, a bottom-up integration testing starts with the lowest level modules and moves upward. So top level modules are simulated using temporary programs called drivers. So it is particularly useful for testing critical low level utility modules first. Then mixed integration testing, it's an hybrid integration. So finally, it is known as a sandwich approach. It combines both top-down and bottom-up strategies. For example, you might use the top-down approach for upper part of the system and bottom-up approach for the lower layers. So meeting in the middle. So this approach tries to leverage the strength of both methods. So it's often resulting in more efficient integration. So to summarize what we have covered, integration testing is a testing type that is often associated with gray box testing. And four main types of integration testing approaches are Big Bang, top-down, bottom-up, and mixed, right? So these are the reference used for this presentation, including foundational text books and online resources. Thank you for your time. Thank you.